What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Black Sheep Family and Autism. My name is Nicole. If you're new here, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, be down with the gang. So this video is going to be a, co-parenting with a narcissistic person or narcissist, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be talking about that and how this is, or how it has been with me dealing with a person in court, far as with my older two kids. Is kind of updating you guys and telling you guys a little bit of detail of what all goes on in court, and when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, what's actually going on. If that's something y'all want to watch, keep on watching. I would just want to shout out everybody that subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. My membership, I'm filming this November the 3rd. I will enable my membership or whatever, where you guys can get extra content, more content, because I'm changing my schedule to either upload one day a week or twice a week. So if you have my membership, you're gonna get more content. So yeah, and also if you subscribe to my Patreon, you're really gonna get some content, and you're really gonna get some raw content, like some raw content. Because even with the membership, I have to stay within the guidelines. But see, Patreon, that's what exclusive gonna be. And the membership, I'm not gonna say that that's not exclusive to YouTube. It's just different rules with YouTube versus with Patreon. So I had wanted to say that. Also, these memberships start from $5 and go up to $20. I feel like anything over $20 is too high, because I'm not gonna pay nothing over $20. I'm not gonna pay nothing over a dub. So for all y'all that's balling and this, that, and the third to say y'all balling, I just want y'all to know that I do have a Patreon, and I do have this membership that I will be going forward with launching. Also with this case, like me talking about this stuff is solely to educate people about how it is to co-parent with a narcissistic person, what it's like for a woman to be back and forth with court with custody. Yeah. So it's just my point of view and things that's going on, and kind of update you guys so people will know that you don't have to be a drug addict. You don't have to be abusing your kids physically or mentally for sometimes stuff just not to go in your favor. I also want to sit here and say this now. For the people that feel as if, something had to be wrong with you for you to lose your kids, we're dealing with a whole black and white issue. If another history lesson, y'all. They stopped slavery a few years back, 400-500 years back, legally stopped slavery, so to say. But then turned around and started building jails, started sending people to jail for absolutely nothing, trumping up charges and stuff like that. That's how they still enslave black people. So if you have a system that's already geared not to sit here and look up for a black person, look out for a black woman or a man, what makes you think that this system is being fair with my black ass, with my kids? If you have a system that's sitting here trumping up charges, you have police out here putting their knees on black people's necks and killing them, you have people out here shooting black people for absolutely nothing. Like, if we have all this going on with the system, and these police is getting suspended, and they're getting suspended with pay, they go back to their family, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. You have white people that's shooting up churches, and they brought in easy, they giving steak, water, and everything else. And meanwhile, a black person could sit here and get beat the shit out of on their way to jail because they got beat up on their way there by police brutality. So if we're dealing with police brutality, and these officers still have their job within America, everywhere in America, what makes you think that this case is not just biased, and what makes you think that some things are, it's designed not to go in my favor. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say, the system is not designed to help black people. The system is designed to fuck black people. So what you have to sit here and have is a good enough representation that can represent and to defend you in court, which I just now got. I didn't have that before. At first I had a legal aid attorney, so I'm gonna sit here and say that now. I had a legal aid attorney that didn't do nothing, and I had another attorney that we was paying and paid that didn't do nothing but agree. He even agreed before I even seen the order. So, I mean, what am I doing in court? Sit here and keep getting railroad? I have been in court by myself fighting for my kids. My kids will never feel like I didn't want them and I did not fight for them. I just now got a representation that has a pretty good background with wins and stuff like that. And it's not cheap.
What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else, y'all. So I wanted to go ahead and say that at the beginning, and if anything that I said before this offended you and you don't understand this, you might want to go ahead and click out for this video. This video will be a longer video.
Thank you for everybody that subscribed. Thank you for everybody that joined my membership. Thank you for everybody that joined my Patreon. And thank you for everybody that shares out my channel and support me and my family in any which way that you can. I do appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say. If I think of something else while editing this long video, I'll let you guys know. I'll come in and do this update, because from going live, I know a lot of people want to get an update with this case. So I'm going to try to do that today. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. This is a custody case that's going on with me and my older 2 kids' dad. I mean, it's just gonna go on to something fair. So we're gonna continuously go to court and make other people rich because people want to lie and don't want to pay child support. That's pretty much to sum it all up. So in the beginning, if you do not want to watch a longer video, if you do not want to know about a custody case with a mother going against a person that is not a minority, this is going to kind of show y'all how this go. And not only that, it's just because someone doesn't have their kids, does not mean they were on any type of drugs, so to say. Also, keep in mind, certain things that I would normally say, I can't say due to the platform that I'm on. But this is going to be a longer video. If you do not like watching longer videos, if you don't like life update, chit chat videos, I mean, I encourage you to go ahead and click off. Like, no one is, you know, holding a gun to your head to tell you to be here or any of that. So you can just politely click off. Thank you, appreciate it, bye bye. So now that we got that out the way, y'all, I got some notes in here to try to kind of like go off of, because y'all know that I go from like one story to the next story to the next story to the next story, and then I bring it all back together, and I guess some people get lost or whatever. So yeah, also I'm trying to remember everything that I was going to say in this video. And again, this will be a longer video. If you're lost in this video and you don't know how this happened and how that happened, and you have any questions or concerns, I gladly have a playlist of this custody update, you know, on my channel. So you can go to that playlist. So, okay. I'm gonna start with, like, cause before this video, I did like a car chit chat vlog a little bit, and then y'all know the last video before that, I kind of was like irritated with the whole kids attorney thing. And it, to me, with me, when someone pays you to do a job, and to me, the kids attorney job is to talk to them, to check on them, and to be able to say what they think is in the best interest of the kids, without us having to take the kids to court. You still are their voice without them having to go through something else traumatic like court. Yeah, and to me it would be traumatic because the child would be called into court and have to sit here and say what they do and don't and all this stuff in front of both parents, and for some people and some kids that can be awkward, especially if it's a timid child. So yeah, I'm filming this video November the 3rd, y'all, 2020. So for y'all that's been with me, y'all been with me for a while, y'all know how this go. I'm going to go in detail, so hopefully it will catch everyone up with what's been going on with the last couple of I guess you could say episodes, series, whatever y'all want it to be called, whatever. We went to court September 21st. Someone finally decided to agree upon an order. It's not everything that I had agreed on. I'm missing a weekend, and this person has an issue with me getting the 3 weekends that I had with my kids. Originally, I was able to get Carter and Crystal every week from Sunday to Tuesday. This person, or if I got a job and couldn't do every week, it was in there the option to get them every other weekend. Cool. They had an issue with that. What they would do is on Sundays, they would sit here and say on Monday nights, they having a family dinner. Just go get them from school on Monday, right? So they're already not going by that order, and this is the first initial order. So that started happening. Then what they started doing was checking them out early on Mondays, on Tuesdays, or what they do is conveniently, instead of Carter and Crystal therapy appointments to be on Thursdays like they had been, now they move their appointments to Mondays. That way y'all have an excuse to check them out and not get tardy. That's what was going on before. So that's what prompted me to bring this person back to court, because you're not even following the order as far as with the visitation. And then with the every other weekend, so people that wonder why I just didn't get them on Fridays, they'll check them out of school early on Fridays. That's how that was going. Also, this person never put me on the pickup list, the drop-off list, any of that. So that's what led us back to court. So for y'all to think that someone wants to just go to court just because, oh, well, I'm a bitter black woman and I just want to go to court and I'm just not happy and I just have an issue and I have a problem. No, this person has never followed that order from the first order. Okay, fine. This person goes to court. He's mad because I told my attorney, like, this person's in contempt because this person's not going through with the order or whatever. Y'all know with that whole drug screen, this, that, and the third. Y'all know all that. If you don't, go watch the video. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just not going to go into detail with it because this video would be long AF. So the issue with that then was where I can't get them every weekend. He has an issue with me getting them every weekend. For me not to even have to be bothered with this person like I was in the first order, I opted to pick them up from school and drop them off at school on my weekends. The judge, the same judge that we're dealing with now, was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be fair. I'm going to, since she was getting her kids every week and he has an issue with that, I'm just, instead of letting her get them every weekend, I'll let her get them 3 times a weekend. Cool. Whatever. I get them 3 weeks after month. La-da-da, whatever. So now this person, for one, the first day of picking them up, he was at the school. Y'all, why are you even at the school? Why are you at the school at all? For what? To antagonize and to pick with somebody. So not only did he check them out, but my attorney had to call his attorney to tell him to take the kids back to school. So this person is here, and yeah, I recorded everything. Like, you're not gonna be able to sit here. You're gonna have to prove, even though he has not been proving anything in this court thing, the only thing that he was able to do, which delayed everything, was to sit here and keep these kids for the last 2 years and to sit here and bring up a drug test when I did not have the income to take the drug test that day. I was under the impression that I had to take it by the time we went back to court or something like that. So yeah, so they kind of talked about that. Really don't go into detail, but yeah. So, and then with that, like, even before that happened, this person was keeping the kids away. So then, you know, he had the kids' attorney, of course, everyone do, you know, a drug test, this, and third, buying him time, which the whole time I lost almost 2 years of my kid's life because this person still was not going by the order. I had to then get the attorney that I have now to go back to court to even get the supervised visitation how it should be. So back to the kids' attorney. I feel like if I pay you and their dad pay you to represent the kids, like, you should have more contact than what she had with the kids. So, but I will sit here and say that I have learned, you know, that kids are turning out use in adoption, foster care. It's not just like, you know, whenever the judge calls you and be like, hey, I want you to do, like, it's not like that. But I thought it was. And the county that this is in, which is Long County, it's a small county. So I just really didn't think she had that many cases. I thought she only got the cases that judges recommended her to. She was doing this part-time, so I understand all that. Man, I know that court is not every day with anything that's going on. I don't know if I talked about it, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. It took her forever to even meet with my people that would sit here and supervise the kids. This person sat here and did not let me get Saturdays or Sundays, talking about they go to church and this, that, and the third. Funny how when the judge sit here and made this happen, I get the weekend. I get the same thing. I picked them up from school and dropped them off at school. So what happened to this church that you go to? Like, yeah, and what does that have to do with a kid spending time with their parent? Because you go to church. That has nothing to do with them. And if you were such, you know, a Christian, you dang sure wouldn't be keeping kids away from their mother. So that was my issue far as with the kids attorney. I felt like she wasn't actually checking on the kids like she should have and seeing what was actually going on with the kids and stuff like that. That was my issue. When I asked her, you know, have she even talked to Carter and Krista? Have she even did this? Have she even that? Like, normally she wouldn't have any information, or she would have like information from the last thing. So, well, that was my issue. Yeah. That's why it didn't make sense to me, because it's like, you know, I have an attorney, he have an attorney. They're going to sit here and try to understand what you want. They're going to speak to you in detail and all that type of stuff. So, yeah. Y'all, with that, it's a lot. But I will sit here and say that, you know, it's only so much that she can do or so much that she can recommend, just because this person, I'm coming from being, you know, a drug addict to proving that all was a lie. And that basically I have the burden to prove that I'm not on drugs and that I'm a fit parent. And I have to go back through all it. See, if when this first initially happened, it would have been, you know, Carter saying that he wants to stay with me, don't want to stay with his dad, and you know, the kid's attorney would have had to sit here and take into consideration that she would have had to tell the courts that he wants to stay with his mom, but she would have to find a reason why she feel like, you know, he shouldn't come stay with me or something. They had none of that. Like, my kid's father knew that it wouldn't been, she couldn't have sat here and been like, well, I feel like they shouldn't stay with their mama because, you know, I suspect this or I suspect that or I suspect, like, she didn't have none of that. So he know that she would have had to come in court and say this and say that, well, the kids want to do this, and then they will have to prove why I shouldn't get my kids. And to delay that, I'ma keep my kids. I'ma keep the kids from her. I'ma be in contempt. And as long as she look like she's this and look like that, I can continue to do what I want to do. For y'all that wonder, like, with this new case, with this new stuff, like, why isn't the attorney that I have now, like, proving any of his contempt? Because right now she's trying to prove that everything that this person is saying is a lie. Where's the proof? I have a real attorney now. Like, this lady has went to court with me 2 times for child support, for this visitation and child support, because this person agreed with this order. And with him finally agreeing to the order, the only thing I got added into, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about the order. The order is, I got the first 3 weeks coming off supervised, where I got to spend from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The next 3 weeks, it was 9 a.m. on Saturday to 6 p.m. on Sunday for 3 weeks straight. So that was like a 6-week trial period or whatever. So that happened. What I thought was I supposed to got 3 weeks this way, and took and 1 weekend was with him, right? And then I was supposed to turn around and pick back up them other 3 weekends, where that's Saturday and Sunday. After that, it goes to every other weekend. I pick them on Friday, and I drop them off at school Monday. What I got added into that order was my husband to be put on the pick up or drop off list, and just in case I go back to work, or just in case, you know, one parent have to be here, one parent have to be there, or like I'm picking up the boys, or if something going on at the same time, I need him to be able to go pick up the kids it should be in there, because I'm pretty sure his wife can go pick up those kids as well. It's just common sense. Like, yeah. Even when I get custody, I'm not gonna have a problem with, well, let me say this. But what I know about this person, or what I didn't know about this person, if he's married to someone, I'm not gonna sit here and have an issue with this person going to pick up the kids. Like, it just doesn't even make any sense. Or why it's an issue for this person that the kids are going to be around anyway to pick up the kids. Like, make it make sense, because that's still a step parent. So make it make sense. So yeah, I got that put in there, and I got that put in there that basically he cannot be up there while I'm going to pick up my kids, because it does, for what? Like, for what, y'all? Like, why do you need to be here while I come pick up the kids? So these last 6 weeks, I have sent Jay to go pick up the kids and Jay to go drop off the kids, because I do not want to see this person. I don't want to see this person. I don't want to be bothered with this person. I don't have nothing to say to this person. Anything that we need to talk about, I feel like we go talk about in court. That's why we're studying court, right? So with that being said, I mean, there's nothing that we need to talk about. And I have also texted this, like, there's nothing that we should talk about. Also, what I want to sit here and say that's in the order, that's in every order, because it comes standard in the orders, y'all, is the fact that I haven't got the kids eye doctor, I haven't got the kids dentist, I haven't got the kids actual doctor information. And with that being said, it's supposed to be, or the kids schools. With that being said, it's supposed to be where they go, who they see, their phone number, all of that information for the doctors, the schools, and all that stuff. That has not been provided to me at all. The only thing that has been provided to me was the fact that Carter's back into a behavior school. What I don't understand is how I'm still being blamed for Carter behavior, but I'm just really getting back in the kids' lives. So if they having any type of behavior issue when I haven't even been here, it kind of look like you're the parent that's causing the behavior issue. Or maybe the child misses their other part of their, you know, mom, because these issues that him and his mother have with Carter or with Crystal or at all, we don't have that at this house. Not at all. So to go into detail with the next thing about Carter and his behavior issues, Carter, oh yeah. Carter has not just been acting up when he sees me or when he don't see me. Carter has been acting up. So to me, if someone's been acting up whether I'm here or not, maybe it's something that's going on in this child household. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. The next thing, as far as with this behavior institution that he was in, again, Carter had ran away. They called the police because Carter didn't want to go with them. He was in therapy. And like, I'm gonna insert to y'all a clip of what dude told me, which wasn't really in detail, and which wasn't really, it's not even what happened. This person explained it to me like Carter just ran away from school and the school called the police. Like, Carter was in therapy at school and the school called the police because he ran away from his therapist, which wouldn't make sense because Crystal would have had to be there as well. So they both of us have been in therapy. So the truth is, his mother was there. So when I sit here and say, y'all, you're capping so hard to keep me away from kids that you don't even have when you're supposed to have custody. Like, make this make sense. Your mom take them to their appointments. Your mom take them to the doctor. Crystal's always at the mom's house, the grandmother's house, which is the same racist person that didn't want me to have my kids because I'm not gonna sit here and get disrespected by you just because you're white. You need to go take your ass back into the slavery times, ma'am. We still have stuff that we're fighting to this day. So just because you're white does not mean you're going to talk to me any type of way. Does not mean that you're going to talk about me to my kids any type of way either. So if I don't choose to be bothered with you, that's me. Like, I have never sat here and said that, you know, to me, what happened before this, y'all, was, it was my kid's father's responsibility when he had the kids. If you go get the kids, you drop them off over your mom's house, that's your time that you spend with them, and that's what you decide to do with them. They don't got nothing to do with me. So even then, I'm still not keeping you from kids. I'm just not going to be bothered with you. I'm not going to sit here and be fake with you. And that's just what it is. Also, speaking on the grandmother, it's in order that, because I had to get this put in order. For one, I bought both of the kids' phones. Both of the kids had, one have an iPhone 10 Max and one have an iPhone 10. They both had their phones. They both are on our plan. Since it was an issue with me talking to them, my kids. So what happened was I bought them phones. This person had already bought Crystal a phone with no service. But if my kids can have phones, I'm gonna go ahead and get both of them a phone. That way I can call them directly. I don't even have to be bothering my baby daddy, his wife, the grandmother. I can call my kids directly, right? So I went ahead and got them a phone on top of paying child support. But you know, we're not shit and we're this and we're that. So, you know, since the kids has been over this person's, over that grandmother house, I haven't been able to talk to my kids. Carter tried to FaceTime me as soon as he got out of that facility. He couldn't FaceTime me because he was in the car. And still the time that says between 6 and 7 to be able to talk to them, when I called, no one picked up the phone. So more than likely they took their phones, which, by the way, before this, Crystal had an iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 was taken because Crystal's supposed to got in trouble, but Crystal don't even know what she's supposed to got in trouble for, and couldn't nobody say what she got in trouble for. So her dad took the phone, gave it to his mom. His mama couldn't find the phone. The phone was lost. This, that, and the third. We'll do this, we'll do that. Whole time it was in her purse. So to me, you took my child phone, so I couldn't talk to my child. Which, y'all, you have to be demonic and evil as hell to not want a little girl to have a relationship with her mother. Like, just make it make sense. So she took her phone, kept her phone, until I just was like, I'm not gonna, you know, get you another phone or trade you out phones until you find the one that I thought she had lost. But no, the grandmother had the phone the whole time. Like, this is how evil and spiteful someone is. Like, that's just how evil and spiteful you are. Also, the grandma had got a Crystal phone and told Crystal not to call me on the phone. She was not allowed to talk to me on the phone. This, that, and third. What kind of creep even tell a kid that about their mother? Like, make this make sense. Because they still don't have no proof, y'all. Like, they still have no proof that I ain't sat here and said anything to these kids. I have sat here and did anything to these kids. They have no proof. It's just the fact that I'm black and they're salty. Well, with the grandmother, that's the fact. Carter has ran away from, also Carter has ran away from this particular grandma, ran away from his dad several times. Yeah, so Carter, the first time that I talked to Carter, and also y'all, it was recommended by the therapist for Carter to sit here and go to this behavior institution if he did not, like, and also he's supposed to have an open DHS case of what's actually going on with Carter and why he's running away, this, that, and third. So he called himself mad about that. I don't be sitting here calling DHS on you. The school called DHS on you because clearly something wrong. Why is this child running away? What's going on at home? They are mandated to do that. So, I mean, if you just, you know, send a child back where he want to go stay and stop not trying to pay child support and try to be on power struggle, I mean, you wouldn't even have half these problems. Because, y'all, I do not call this person. I do not text this person. Only time I text this person is to figure out why the fuck my kids not answering the phone and where's their phone. That's it. That's all, y'all. He's supposed to have an open DHS case. Carter also have been running away from home. The first time that I talked to Carter, Carter had told me, oh yeah, he finally gave me the code or whatever and stuff like that to be able to call Carter and see how he doing and to check on Carter, which I did every day. The first time I talked to Carter, Carter said, I don't want to live with them. I don't want to stay with my grandma and I don't want to live with my dad. He said that. And there's no allegedly to it. Carter does not want to stay with his dad. Carter has been not wanting to stay with his dad for years now. So when people sit here and say that Carter's been in therapy and he said that I did these things and I did those things and it's on record and this, that, and the third, that he said that, for me to supposed to did this and did that and not been coerced or told to say these type of things, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm supposed to did this and did that. But this same child, the first time I talked to him, was like, I want to come stay with you. The second time, he was asking me, you know, when are we going to go back to court? Like, Carter and Crystal don't even understand the fact that we're steady going back to court and they can't come stay with me like they want to, or they can't spend the type of time with me as they want to because their dad is in the way. And I haven't been sitting here telling them that your dad didn't agree to that. when Crystal was like, when I told her she could only spend a night, you know, you can spend a night every other weekend, she was like, why every other weekend? Why go from every weekend to every other weekend? Like, why? I was like, because it's in order. And she was like, well, who made the order? Like, what does the order make it law? So I have came to the point where I'm not going to sit here and try to protect anything, because I didn't want to put my kids in this type of drama and this type of mess, because I want them to enjoy their childhood. But regardless, they're not enjoying their childhood. They're not enjoying being with these people, which is why I'm steady going back to court, because I mean, I'm always fight for my kids. My kids will never be able to sit here and say, my kids won't be able to sit here and say that my mom didn't try to get me. She didn't try to fight for me. Like, this is what they want to tell them, but this is not true. They can't say I got them phones, because they can't sit here and they won't sit here and feel like my mom didn't call me, my mom don't check on me, my mom don't do this, my mom don't do that. Like, they're not going to be able to feel like that if I have anything to do with it. So yeah, and to me, why would you want kids to feel like their mother is less than what their mother is? Like, you are a real creep, y'all. So that's been going on. Crystal, like I said, want to spend more than every other weekend with me. So when I sit here and say that this person is not doing what's in the best interest for the kids, or what the kids even want, like, you just don't want to pay child support, and you want to sit here and talk about me and talk about stuff that happened in 2013, which is all allegations with no proof or backing. Jay just got back, y'all. So yeah, also y'all have a video coming up real soon that's gonna be like a long AF. Okay, so what else do I want to update y'all with? Right now, since that was an agreed order, that order was closed, I got the child support handled. This person was really in court talking about how, you know, they have so much money, they make so much money, we'll do this, we'll do that. But you asking a woman for child support that's a stay-at-home mom to have 2 kids that has autism, that we're in court because of child support, because you have your hand out from a woman. That's just not real manly for a lot of people. This same particular person decided to call my husband September 22nd, which was a day after court, and I do have the proof to that, and tell him basically, man, I feel bad for you, like, you have to pay her child support, you have to take care of her, this, that, and the third, we'll do this, we'll do that. Why are you talking about me? This person spent like an hour and 15 minutes on the phone talking to my husband, talking about me, and talking shit about me, might I add. And the only reason why my husband sat there and listened to it was because we thought that we could show this in court, to show that this person is mentally unstable, which it is. Like, you contradict yourself every time someone look up. The same person that don't like me, that has such an issue with me and my husband in my life when I don't bother them, be watching my YouTube channel and feel as if I'm talking about this person because I'm updating people and telling people how these custody cases work and how I work in the courts for the mother that's talking about them. If you don't want someone on the camera talking about you because you are the issue with this case, maybe you should be a better person. Maybe your mother should be a better person, you know, and maybe she did a terrible job of raising you. Oops, not my problem. My main issue, my main goal is Carter and Crystal. That's all I'm worried about. That's all I'm gonna ever be worried about. That's all I'm gonna be concerned about. I can care less. This person also sit here and talk about Jaxon and Julian, talking about how they're autism, and also, you know, talking about, you know, Jaxon look like a Mexican, this, that, and the third, how ugly Julian's supposed to be. Like, this person is a real demonic, evil spirit. This person is salty about the fact that my husband can sit here and provide for us, with or without. My bad, y'all. But yeah, he was in court talking about how he makes $4,000 a month, how he get paid $20 an hour, how he this, how he that, we'll do this, we'll do that. But still on the phone, but still in the same courtroom, asking for help, talking about, so well, my wife works, she has a job. Sir, no one brought your wife up into this. Like, who said that she didn't have a job? Who? Make it make sense, y'all. So how you make $4,000 a month and you get $20 an hour, but you still need help. To me, I would think that you're more so unstable than what we are. How you trying to prove that we're unstable and that you need more money? How I supposed to went to court and I supposed to text him or call him or something like that and said that I'm not getting a job because I'm not gonna sit here and have to pay child support. Whether I had a job or not in the state of Arkansas, you have to still pay child support. Whether it's the minimum or the max, you still are obligated to pay child support. So what sense would that made me for to say that? And another thing that sat here and like my attorney like she didn't like is the fact that why is the judge sitting here listening to him talk about what's supposed to be my character when my husband was in court talking about what was going on with our finances, since they're so worried about what's going on with our money. Why my husband couldn't speak freely, but yet this person could sit here, speak freely, and sit here and lie. Like, it's not even, the judge don't even sit here and ask for proof to back up any of these allegations. It's just like, oh, well, I don't doubt that she told you that, and yeah, I'm gonna sit here and listen to you talk stuff about this person. That is what makes somebody racist. When you can't sit, why is it that my black husband can't sit here and speak on what's going on or speak freely about what's going on, but yet this white person can? That's what makes it racist. In the same courtroom, in the same hearing, in the same setting. Also, y'all, this is a family that sat here and had a adoptive niece or adoptive daughter or adoptive whatever, and one of the judges out here in Long Island County got her to sign over custody of her child, never gave her child back. Racist as crap. So I don't know why you want a biracial child when you're racist as crap, and then you raising this child to think that he's white. So it's just a mess. So this is what type of dirt that this family do. From my understanding, this person still haven't even got back her child from this particular judge. So the fact that this person wanted to move this to Long Oak Court, where this same judge, or not the same judge, but a judge sat here and did some stuff like that, I just wouldn't sit here and be shocked if they called in a favor. And that's why I feel like this court just need to be moved, because I feel like it's already geared to not benefit what's best for the kids, or you're not going to see anything fair because you're already biased, because you probably have, Long Oak is a small county. So if you're a judge, and this is a judge, and that's a judge, you're going to sit here and all I gotta do is call in favor, like, hey, yeah, my nephew or this person's called me and they're this and they're that, and could you just make sure she don't get them kids back? Like, that's what we're trying to do. I feel like that's what's going on with this court case. I will sit here and say that my attorney still have to prove that I guess I'm stable enough or fit enough to have Carter and Crystal back. Also, this person is, you know, talk about some, hey, you know, for one, Summer's not here. This person texting, talking about some, you know, because it's every other week that in the summer order, it's every other week that I'm supposed to sit here and get the kids. And it's like, if you sit here and send them to a summer camp for 2 weeks, I'm supposed to miss 2 weeks. What I sat here and said was no. What I would do is, because July, like, it's every other week, which to me is stupid, because most parents that's not the custodial parent gets the whole summer with the kids anyway. So I'm not even understanding that, but I digress. I was like, I would do June and you can just get them July, which to me make more sense, because I could get them the last day of their schooling, the last day that they supposed to let out, and get them from that day forward into July 1st. July 1st, they can go over there with their dad. He can sit here and get them ready for school and all that stuff for August. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that would have made more sense. And since you already have a Christian summer camp that they going into conveniently with a weekend that I'm supposed to have them, or a week that I'm supposed to have them, yeah, no. So he sat there and said that. I was like, I mean, I would sit here and agree or get it put in order that, you know, the summer I get them this ending and get them after that. He still has not came up with what he wants to do with that. So like I said, it's not the fact that I'm not trying to do anything that's fair, even though I feel like the fact that you even have them other than every other weekend in the summer is stupid to me, because most people that I know get their kids every other weekend and they get them the whole summer. Flat out. Then he gonna sit here and be like, well, and in the order, since, you know, he have kept them the last 2 years, in the order it says that I'm supposed to, this is my year to get them the Wednesday for Thanksgiving, and then I turn around and get them the first week of Christmas. This person gonna text me and be like, you know, well, you know, I was just thinking that, you know, we could do either or. No, sir. I know what the hell the order says. The order sits here and say that I get them Thanksgiving and I get them the first week of Christmas. So I'm not really understanding what I need to be compromising with. Tom Elson, he's willing to compromise with me, this, that, and third. How are you gonna compromise what's black and white in the order? So even if he sit here and don't decide to sit here and let me get them from summer break, with the start of summer break, until July the 1st, so y'all can go do whatever y'all want to do with them for them 2 weeks, because Carter has already said, I don't want to go to the summer camp more than I want to sit here and spend time and see my mother. So just make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. So in a moment of when the summer get here and you decide that you're going to just keep them 2 weeks, and I sit here and file these contempt paperwork, I will. I have no problem with doing it, sir. Like, I mean, he should see now. Also, what trips me out about, also, back to the judge and stuff like that, at first I didn't agree with the order, because I'm like, I'm losing a weekend and I still don't get the summer. Like, that was my whole issue with that, because I know more comes in time or whatever and stuff like that. So the judge was like, well, you can, after we see how this goes, you can always come back to court and ask for or request more time. So to me, you don't even want to give nobody back their kids. You might consider giving me more time with my kids, but you don't even want me to have my kids back. And y'all, these people still have not proven that I did what? Like, what did I do? Wait 2 weeks to take a drug test. And this whole case, that's all that y'all were able to prove against me is that I took 2 weeks to take a drug test. That's it. So if it's not race-based of why I don't have my kids back, I don't know what is. Also, this person sat here, this person attorney sat here and was like, you know, he's tired of dealing with the case or whatever, and asked my husband, you know, aren't you tired of dealing with the case? If you were so tired of dealing with the case, you wouldn't be on the case. Like, nobody holding a gun to your head having you be on the case. Like, apparently you agree with what's going on and you have no problem with, you know, arguing what's going on. So make it make sense. Because what this attorney did, this attorney told me that I'm going to, like, when he first got on the case, talk about something, I don't have, you know, the right to go check the kids out, and that I'm kidnapping the kids, this, that, and the third, with this, with that, because I got my kids from school before his mother was able to check them out. So he tried to bluff me, y'all, and tried to basically entrap me like what they have been doing anyway, right? I got a lawyer on that ass. That was the second lawyer that I had dealing with this case. So now that you see that I went from this lawyer to that did some illegal stuff, as far as with agreeing to orders that I was not agreeing with, you see that I went from this lawyer to this reputable lawyer, like this lawyer that actually has a history of winning, a track history of winning and stuff like that. Now you're tired of dealing with the case. Oh, you're just so over dealing with this case. No, what you thought it was I was going to be a poor black person that could never afford no real attorney, and that this was going to be an open and shut case, and that you was going to be able to continue to railroad me and continue to get wins. Yeah. So to me, that's the only reason why he sat here and agreed with this order. Because if you don't agree with this order, yeah, I don't have no proof that I'm doing this. I don't have no proof of doing it. Now we're going to sit here and talk about your contempt. So what you're going to do is agree with the order. So while this person's talking like, oh, well, I agree with the order because I wanted to, which is my kid's father. I agree with the order because I wanted to, this, that, and third. No, the kid's attorney already said what she recommend. You don't have no proof of anything other than it took me 2 weeks to do this drug test. So you're going to agree with the order, because more than likely your attorney was like, I mean, what do you want me to argue with this? That's why he agreed. He didn't agree because he was just being nice and wanted to, you know, do what was right for the kids and this, that, and the third. Like, no, that's not why. And like I said, this attorney just thought that I would never be able to afford a real attorney. He thought I wouldn't be able to afford a real attorney, that he was going to be able to continue to railroad me, spread lies. And y'all, what kills me about this case is, how is it that I did this, I did that, I did this, I did this, and that, but it's no record? This is the same attorney that sat here and said that I'm supposed to push Crystal down the steps, and they called DHS and this, that, and the third, for me to be like, oh, I supposed to had an allegation that, I was like, I was supposed to push Crystal down steps, this allegation. I was like, that was not founded, that DHS opened and shut the case. Like, he hurried up and was like, no more questions, no more questions, no more questions. Oh, you don't want questions because what these attorneys like to do, or this particular attorney like to do, it's ask a yes or no question. That way they can sit here and try to railroad you inside of the gray area. Like with this whole child support stuff in the same case. Well, so you don't work and she doesn't work and y'all are able to afford money. Y'all are able to afford your lifestyle. This, that, and the third. And my husband was like, correct. They start laughing because what they're trying to insinuate is either he's a drug dealer, which is what my kid's dad has always called my husband. He's a drug dealer, he's a thug, this, that, and the third. For my attorney to sit here and ask my husband to come up back to the stand, and she redirected and asked, aren't you a veteran? For my husband to be like, yeah. For these people to be like, oh my God. For child support to be like, oh my God, I'm so, thank you for your service. Oh my God. So basically my husband had went to war to fight for people like this to have freedom. But we ain't gonna talk about that part. And y'all, this case has nothing to do with the kids because no one has yet to be able to prove anything that I did with the kids. Any allegations that they have not been able to prove. They haven't been able to prove anything. But what I can prove is that my son don't want to stay over there. What I can prove is that I have paperwork with my son running away from schools, trying to come to my house because he doesn't want to stay with his daddy. But I do have proof of that. What I do have proof of is every time that my son is with his daddy, he's getting in trouble at school. I do have proof of that. So make it make sense of how this case is even going this far. And this person steady being in contempt. I do have proof of that. I do have proof that I still haven't been able to talk to my kids at 6 o'clock. Between 6 and 7. Every day, like I'm supposed to. Whether or not they're in trouble or not. Jaxon, Jaxon, I'm not gonna see a video later on. That basically just proves that this case is mainly, this person, these kids' dad, this demonic demon is stuck in 2012, 2013 with lies and fabrication that don't even make sense. Even when my husband sat here and was like, well, what is your issue with her getting the kids now? What have she did now? You're in 2012, 2013. What have she did now? This person couldn't say nothing. This person was, when my husband sat here and was like, well, why couldn't she get custody? Well, I'm not giving custody because, you know, because the kids don't know what's best for them and I know what's best for them, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. All right. Within the same call, my husband was like, well, what's the issue with joint custody? Where no one pays child support, this, that, and the third through this. I mean, I might consider, joint custody. We'll just see how this order goes. So first off, at first, for me to get full custody, at first it was, I can't provide for myself because my husband do. If he leaves me, I'm not gonna be able to provide for the kids. I'm this type of BITCH and I'm a that type of BITCH and I'm nothing and I'm this and I can't do nothing for myself. I'm not self-sufficient, but I'm self-sufficient enough to do joint custody where no one pays child support. It sounds like to me, y'all, and y'all will hear this later on too, so make sure you got that bell clicked on, make sure you got all this stuff clicked or whatever. It sounds like to me is you don't want me to have joint custody and you're gonna find anything to say about me for me not to have full custody because you don't want to pay child support. You're okay with joint custody because no one is asking for child support on either side and we just take care of our kids and we go on about our way. But full custody comes with full child support. Make it make sense. Like I said, the whole stuff contradicts itself and y'all will hear this. But yeah, this video is getting long, so like I said, I'm gonna come back and do a different part of this video. And yeah, so I hope that kind of updated you guys what type of order we have. I hope that updated you guys what's been going on the last couple of months and my issue with the kids attorney and what's going on with the case now. Yeah.